Hi there. The focus of this lesson is other verbs. We call them other verbs because they are not be verbs. Look at the forms of the other verbs. We use the base form, for example, live, and we use the S form, for example, lives, in affirmative statements. So they live in Moscow, or he lives in Moscow. Okay? Now we have seen the two forms. Let's look at additional verbs in the affirmative sentences. Remember, these are other verbs, other than be. Live, I live in Veracruz. He lives in Singapore. Like, I like New York. It's fun. He likes Rome. It's also fun. Go. I go to Chicago in the summer. He goes to Berlin. Now, go is a special verb. I'll get back to that. Visit. I visit France each year. She visits Latvia. Begin. I begin work at 8 o'clock. She begins at 6. Use. I use a ballpoint pen. She uses a roller ball pen. Notice the two forms, the base form and the S form. Okay, now I want you to listen carefully. I'm going to read a passage which contains some of these verbs. Of course, you've got to listen carefully. Here we go. The baseball couple. Mr. Dalton lives in New York City. He likes the city very much. He often goes to the theater and the museums. He also likes baseball games. Miss Robinson lives in Los Angeles. She likes the ocean and the beaches. She often goes to New York, and she usually visits Mr. Dalton. She likes baseball too, so they often go to baseball games together. All right, now I'm going to read the passage once more, and this time you read it with me. Remember, the more you practice aloud, the better we're going to do. Here we go. The baseball couple. Mr. Dalton lives in New York City. He likes the city very much. He often goes to the theater and the museums. He also likes baseball games. Miss Robinson lives in Los Angeles. She likes the ocean and the beaches. She often goes to New York, and she usually visits Mr. Dalton. She likes baseball too. So they often go to baseball games together. All right, that's good. Now we can practice saying sentences with all of these new verbs. Try to remember the information in the passage. For example, I say, live, Mr. Dalton, and then you say, Mr. Dalton lives in New York City. All right? Let's practice that. Live, Mr. Dalton. Good. Mr. Dalton lives in New York City. That's great. Like, he. Okay, you said he likes the city very much, or he likes New York very much. Go, he. He often goes to the theater and museums. Like, he. He also likes baseball games, right. Live, Miss Robinson. Miss Robinson lives in Los Angeles. That's right. Visit, she. She usually visits Mr. Dalton. Good. Like, she. She likes baseball too. Yes. And go, they. They often go to baseball games together. That's fantastic. Okay, let's try an exercise. It will give you a chance to write these sentences. You will see, live, and you will write, just as in the passage, Mr. Dalton lives in New York City. Got it? So put your program on pause, look at the study guide, and complete the exercise. Come back here afterwards. Okay, let's review the baseball couple. You saw live, and you wrote, Mr. Dalton lives in New York City. Like, he likes the city very much. Go, remember, go is a special verb. He often goes to the theater and the museum. Like, he also likes baseball games. Live, Miss Robinson lives in Los Angeles. Like, she likes the ocean and the beaches. Go, she often goes to New York. Visit, and she usually visits Mr. Dalton. Like, she likes baseball too. And go, so they often go to the baseball games together. Good job. See you next time.